the book of Exodus, chapter 1 and verse 19, and it reads, "And the midwives said unto Pharaoh, because the Hebrew women are not as the Egyptian women, for they are lively, and are delivered ere the midwives come in unto them." You see, the Israelites are a lively people, man. You so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans set the bar, man. You are the salt of the earth, as the scriptures say, right? Whereas these other nations are not the same, man. And hey, if the Egyptians ain't like that, then these Edomites for damn sure ain't like that, man, right? The scriptures tell us that we're stronger than them, right? But let me go ahead and hold these precepts, as I'm going to go ahead and go into, the what stirred up the spirit to do this lesson, man. Which I was out in the streets with my family, just kind of having a little bit of some some family time, trying to do a balance things out as we do, man, right? And so as we're doing it, man, I see these guys come up looking like this, right? Looking like these guys. I was like, what the hell? And they were dancing, right? Jumping up and down and, having a good old time. And they were trying to get us to, basically partake in this madness. Or at least, I guess it is madness. But, as you can see, it looks bugged out, man. And as we know, these traditions and things go back to some, usually some wicked stuff, man. All right? What's that scripture? Matthew 15 and verse 14, it says, well, in fact, I'll start at verse 13. It says, "But he answered and said, Every plant which my heavenly Father hath not planted shall be rooted up. Let them alone, for they be blind leaders of the blind. And if the blind lead the blind, they both shall fall into a ditch." Right? And anybody would just blindly just jump right in and start taking part in these, traditions that go back to bugged out things, right? Easter egg hunts, Halloween type of, just all this different stuff that these people be doing, man. Right? That really go back to, madness, man. So I had instructed my, my woman and my seeds, I had instructed my family. I'm like, hey, man, don't partake in this madness. We don't know what it is. And I asked the main person who was, looked like he was conducting the dance. He had a Mexican flag and, all this stuff. And I asked him, I'm like, hey, man, what is this? What does this go back to? He's like, oh, it's a tradition, right? And which is basically what it's telling us up here, that it's a tradition and what have you. But there was a bit of a meaning behind it, and I'll go ahead and read it. But it says, Chinelos are a kind of traditional costume dancer, which is most popular in the Mexican state of Morelos, right? So, that's pretty much what he told me. Hey, we've been doing this for hundreds of years. It's a tradition. I'm like, well, what does a tradition go back to? And he didn't know, man, right? And when I went home and did some research, come to find out what they're doing is they're mocking the Spaniards, man. Right? Check this out. Because hey, we know these heathens, right? They can't dance, right? They don't. Hey, what's that movie called? White Man Can't Jump. Hey, that's exactly what they're making mockery of here, man. Look at the rosy cheeks, the white pale thing, the funny ass beard. He got some rosy sodomite clothing on, right? But anyway, it says the tradition arose from the blending of indigenous and Catholic traditions, most notably Carnival. So Carnival, came from, it's one of these traditions that come from, these heathen customs and what have you, right? But as we go on, what they've adopted into Carnival is, this Los Chinelos thing, which it says, with its permission to be masked and to mock. Chinelos mock Europeans and European mannerisms from the colonial period up until the end of the 19th century, right? So what they've been doing since the Spanish conquest is basically making mockery of them, man, right? And Jake is slick too, man. They probably, the Spaniards probably loved this back in the day, man. But really, they're over there making fun of them, man. Let me go ahead. I think it expounds upon it a little bit more down here. Con right here. It says, wearing masks, role reversal, anonymity, and behaviors not normally tolerated. Yeah, they wouldn't tolerate this stuff, man. They'd put you to death for that type of shit, man. Right? But guess what? They start making themselves look like moles and acting all silly because they're making fun of you Sodomite Edomites, man. It says, the dance developed as a mockery of the Europeans with their fine clothing, beards, fair skin, and mannerisms. You see? So again, that's what it all goes back to, man. That's why they were dancing. They were jumping up and down. Dude, just like some weird saltless dance, man. And that's why, that's a part of why it bugged me out. I was like, man, we ain't getting involved in this. Whatever this is, you could have it. But once I looked it up, man, and especially after the dude couldn't explain it, which, I still probably wouldn't have went in there and, been dancing and stuff, but it is funny to think about, man. This is Jeremiah 10:16. It says, the portion of Jacob is not like them, for he is the former of all things, and Israel is the rod of his inheritance. The Lord of hosts is his name, right? We're the former of all things, man. Right? We're the ones that set the bar for the world. We're the salt of the earth, man. You see? Hey, and salt contains what? Flavor. You see? We're the ones in the commercials. We're the ones that, in the sports, right? Hey, we're the ones that basically entertain the world, man. And it's lucky. And yeah, this this is a small example of that, man. This is the book of Genesis, chapter 25 and verse 23, and it reads, and the Lord said unto her, 2 nations are in thy womb, and 2 manner of peoples shall be separated from thy bowels, right? So there'd be a separation here between these 2 nations. One would be the nation of Esau, which would be the Spaniards that are being mocked here, and then one would be the nation of Israel, right, which are the ones doing the mocking, right? Which, again, it was upon the Spanish conquest we got conquered, and we're over here making fun of the people who conquered us, man, calling them Moses and stuff. But nonetheless, how did these fruity Edomites be able to get control over us, man? Because it's prophesied that he would, you see? But it's also prophesied that what? We're stronger, man. Again, like I said earlier, what's that movie, White Man Can't Jump? Hey, here you have it, man. White man cannot jump. You get a good example of how they jump when you watch the dance that the Los Chinelos do. Go ahead and click on the video. I'm not gonna click on it because I don't want to get get a strike, but do it whenever y'all get a chance, man. Because it was funny, man. It was the saltless Edomite dance. But going on, it says, and one people shall be stronger than the other people, and the elder shall serve the younger, and the elder, being Esau, was prophesied to what? Serve the younger, Jacob. So why is it that, they overran us during the Spanish conquest, and why is it that they were able to if they're weaker, man? And the answer again is because it's prophecy, man. Let's go to chapter 27 and get the point. This is Genesis chapter 27 and verse 36. It says, and he said, in fact, let me go ahead and jump down. Verse 38. It says, and Esau said unto his father, hast thou but one blessing for me, O my father? Bless me, even me also, O my father. And Esau lifted up his voice and wept. And Isaac his father answered and said unto him, behold, thy dwelling shall be the fat of the fatness of the earth and of the dew of heaven from above. And by thy sword shalt thou live, and shalt serve thy brother. And it shall come to pass, right? So it says he's going to serve his brother, but hold on. And it shall come to pass, when thou shalt have the dominion, that thou shalt break the yoke from off thy neck. So, hey, even though he was weaker, even though he said that he was going to serve him, right? There would be a point where he overruns us, man. And that he would, take the fatness of the earth, as we read early in the previous verse. And he'd be blessed by the sword. So that's how he got, that's how the Spanish conquest took place, man. That's how it was able to get as far as it got. You see? To the point where, we got overran by these moles, so to speak. You see? So it's prophecy, man. All right? It's prophecy. But again, I thought it was fitting for a short lesson just to show just to show how hey, Jake is the salt of the earth, man. And even in us being overran and conquered, right, we still still poke fun at Esau, man. They laugh at us, but we laugh at them. You see, he's got a pink and blue butterfly on him and stuff, man. Right? And again, all this is to represent that these Edomites are Mo's, man. And these Edomites are you know, hey, they can't dance, man. So here you have Jake over here making a whole mockery dance out of it, which kind of it goes to show who these people are, man, which are Israelites. You see? So anyway, Lord willing, this is edifying, man. All right. Like I said, you know, these people don't even know their own traditions and customs that they do. So we have to go do the research. And you know, this one was actually pretty funny, man. This whole tradition here. You see? But anyway, so Lord willing, this is edifying, man. I'm gonna go ahead and close it up there. I'm gonna give all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai B'Hashem Rakakwadash. Double honors unto the elders and the apostles at GMS Great Millstone, and a sincere peace, love, blessing, salutations unto all those of you hopeful, faithful, potential members of the elect out there, doing the best to make the calling of your election sure. And you see where it says, you know, this is something that's done in Mexico City, man. That's where the Aztec land was, Tenochtitlan, as they called it then. You see? So hey, we lost our land, man. He got the fatness of the earth. He took our land. You read the history, all right, of what was that damn Edomite's name, man? Cortez. When that devil went over there, man, and he saw Tenochtitlan, you know, he was in awe at the beauty of it, man. They said it was a golden floating city on a lake, man. All right, and that's ultimately what that symbol on the Mexican flag, the eagle and the snake, go back to, right? Is it was prophesied to them, you know, that they would see that. And that would be their land, which, you know, that wasn't you know, that's not a biblical prophecy. It's just, you know, part of, you know, how the story goes, so to speak, man. And you know, but with that, I'm gonna go ahead and close it up. All right. Hey, we know who the damn devil is, man. The proof is in the pudding. All right. We know who the Lord's people are, man. All right. And you know, with that said, call Allah Yamla Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushai B'Hashem Rakakwadash. Double honors to the elders and the apostles at GMS Great Millstone, and a sincere peace, love, blessing, salutations unto those of you hopeful, faithful, potential members of the elect out there, doing the best to make the calling of your election sure. All right, this is Brother Gar. Until next time, Shalom wa Adbab Babal.